If you've ever had a riding lesson, you've probably been told at some point to look up, keep your eyes up, look in the direction that you want to go. You've gotten some kind of instruction related to where you're looking and how you're using your eyes. You may have also heard of the expression or the difference between having hard eyes and soft eyes. And that's what I want to focus on today. So we all know that we need to look where we want to go, and that if we keep our eyes up, it's going to help balance our head and keep our head more level. But there's also something really subtle in how we use our eyes, and it has to do with this difference between hard and soft eyes. But what does that really mean? That's what I'm going to explain in this video. I'm Callie, you're watching the weekly show here at CRK Training, and each time in this weekly show I share a training idea, I share a tip for riding, or I share some advice on horse care. So today I've got a riding tip for you, and this riding tip is one of the 5-minute fixes from the book by Wendy Murdoch. This is an excellent book. We also have a full course with Wendy, the Effortless Riding course. And I'll put a link where you can get some free training from that course down below after this video. But I want to share one of the fixes in this book that I think is really excellent. So this is number 4, and it's called Eyes in the Back of Your Head. And this does a really great job of giving an exercise of how to feel the difference between hard and soft eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my horse Noel, mount up, and then I'll explain this exercise. This exercise is going to help with your transitions, it's going to help with your balance, and it's also going to help you avoid holding too much extra tension in your body when you're riding. When we have too much tension, it relates to other things like gripping too hard with the legs or leaning forward or pulling on the reins. So here's what I want you to do to feel the difference between hard eyes and soft eyes. First, pick something ahead of you to focus on, and focus on that one object in front of you, and notice what your eyes do. When I do this, I find that I have to squint just a little bit. I can feel kind of some lines of tension come around my eyes. I feel a little bit more of the muscles of my face, just taking a little bit more tension as I focus in on that. I also lose a little bit of my peripheral or my side vision when I focus hard on one thing in front of me. I also notice as I focus on that one thing that I come just a tiny bit forward. Now I want you to look forward, but think about just gazing forward. And as you're doing this, you're going to lightly press with your eyelids towards the back of your head. Just imagine, just pretend that with your eyelids you could softly just press your eyes back more towards the back of the socket. And as you do this, notice what happens to your peripheral, again, your side vision. Notice what happens to kind of that feeling of squinting that you had before, like how much tension do you have around your eye. And also notice what it does to your balance. So sitting here in the saddle, I can feel as I do this, as I press slightly back, my balance shifts back a little bit. I notice that I have a little bit more peripheral, and while I can see everything in front of me, I'm not focused in on just one thing. I have a little bit more of a broader vision. So this is the difference in the feeling between hard eyes and soft eyes. So now you can go back and forth a few times. First, find a point to really focus on. Notice how you start to get a little bit more tension. You might start to come just a little bit forward as you focus on that. And if you notice things in your side vision, it's a little bit harder to really take those in if you keep your focus straight ahead. This is your hard eyes. Now if you go to soft eyes, you let that become more of a gaze. You think about just a tiny little press, like if you could push your eyes back and imagine that you had eyes in the back of your head and you were looking out the back of your head, and notice the difference in the feeling there. It's a very subtle thing, but it's going to make a big difference, again, in your transitions. It can make a big difference in the amount of tension that you're holding in your body, and your horse is really going to feel that difference between when you're hard and focused and when you just let your eyes soften. So I would encourage you to do more of your riding with these soft eyes. There's times that we have to focus in on something specific when we're gauging a distance or when we're needing to make a really tight turn, but being able to go back and forth and understand and recognize if you're using a hard focused eye or if you're using a softer gazing eye will be really valuable to your riding. So I would love to know how you enjoyed this video. What is one thing that you noticed as you did your practice, just here watching this video, going back and forth between a hard eye and a soft eye? Go ahead and put it in the comments down below. And also make sure you check out the link to learn more about Wendy Murdoch and the Effortless Rider course that she teaches here at CRK Training.